What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AM, guys. Welcome back to 5 Minute Rants. I'm your host, Michael Abernathy, and welcome back to the show, predicated on the journey of life and business. Hey, guys, real quick, if you know somebody fresh out of college or somebody trying to start their own business and you want to partner with me to help impact and change lives, would you share this show with them? I appreciate it. Well, I want to talk about how talent alone does not make you successful. And I think it's so important to talk about this because in society today, we look at a lot of talented individuals, right, through media, through social media, different things like that. And we can see talent and we see a lot of it. And we often think, oh, they're lucky. Or we often think, oh, they're super blessed to just be gifted and talented. And what you don't see is success has nothing to do with talent, right? Success really has nothing to do with talent, okay? It really has to do with perseverance and improvement. And my formula for success is this: success equals improvement plus perseverance. And if you have either of those two attributes in your life, or if you simply want to add those two attributes, because those are two aspects that you can add to your personal life, you're going to be successful because you are not going to quit, right? But you will grow and improve to make better decisions, take better actions, become more efficient, do the things necessary that you need to in order to get where you want to go. And all of this, by the way, this whole thought really came about because I was talking to a close friend of mine, and we were talking specifically about business, and he's like, man, I'm just struggling with failure, thinking about that I'm a failure and things like this because stuff is not moving as fast as I want it to. And when we talked, I told him, I was like, hey, bro, listen, your time horizon's wrong. You've got stuff, and we're thinking about stuff in months versus years. And even as you expand and grow in business, needing to think and see the time horizon down for years down the road is so important, right? Because as you grow in business, you have more capital, which means you have more leverage. You have more of an availability to make major impact and changes more quickly based on your team size and things like that. But at the same time, you still need to be thinking in years down the road, right? The time horizon needs to be a lot bigger. And so we talked about that, and it really came up like, oh no, this is just me persevering. And then along the way and in that journey with the team, what I need to do is constantly improve to measure my decisions, to measure the outcomes of my decisions faster, to understand where I'm failing so I can grow different. And that's really where all this came about, talking about success. Because there's no such thing about overnight success. It is a myth. Overnight success does not exist. It requires efforts. It's the law of sowing and reaping. You got to continually sow. And then eventually all of that seed that you've sown to the ground is going to come back to you. But that sowing is really oftentimes obedience to the process, submitting to it, walking through and doing the steps required and the actions required to get there. And that's really perseverance. And perseverance means like, hey, I'm going to show up and do the same boring thing every day. Every day I'm going to do the same thing. It doesn't always feel like fancy and flashy. You're going to the same physical location, the same office space, logging into the same computer with the same password, staring at the same background, writing out what you need to write out, and working on the things you need to work and building the things you need to build. That takes perseverance because there are going to be days you don't feel like doing that. And motivation can be a feeling, but oftentimes showing up is just simply a choice. It's the choice to show up. It's the choice to really run with things. And doing that is so important to really persevere through those moments because it doesn't matter where you are. That is going to happen. I talk about this a lot with the team, how boredom is one of the number one killers of work. Boredom is also one of the number one killers of visions and dreams. Because people get bored with what they're doing. We get bored with what is happening. What we're doing isn't successful or yielding the results as soon as we want them. And then we quit. And when we quit, we don't actually move forward. When we quit, we end up starting something new because simply out of boredom. And it's interesting how boredom really, if you look at boredom and where it traces back into eternal emotions, it actually ties back into anger. And so boredom often comes from frustration, and that comes from disappointment in results. And this is why perseverance is so important. And then the other thing too is like the improvement. Like, great, you're persevering, but if you keep making the same mistakes over and over and over, you're not going to get where you want to go either. You've got to have those two different aspects in your life in order to be successful. You've got to learn. And this is why everybody's like, hey, self-improvement. This is why. You got to learn to make better decisions. You got to learn how not to repeat the same mistakes. You have to learn how to grow and change on a continual basis, not just because of the industry, but because you as a person are going to directly impact, and your business is a direct reflection of who you are personally. Anyways, guys, that's it. So I'll catch you later. Peace.